find out where things stand there with regard to border protection and terrorism. I think our next guest might have something to say about border protection as well. You never know. Ed Coulter joins us now, columnist, New York Times bestselling author, and a great gal to call a friend. Hi, Ann. Thanks for joining us today.
Good to be here, Larry.
I have so much I want to ask you about with regard to that. First, I love your column. Explain something to me. Trump is a fascist. I mean, we all know that. And yet he hates the military and wants to undermine the military. Is this guy the worst fascist in the history of fascism if he undermines the military? How are you a fascist without the military in your back pocket?
It's amazing how the left just instinctively goes to the worst possible argument. I mean, there's so many things you could be attacking Trump for, but no, they're going to say he hates the military. When his entire presidency suggests he likes the military, every part of the military, a wee bit too much, like the generals. I mean, it was embarrassing the way he kept bragging about my generals and, oh, look at all the generals in my cabinet, when he's the last person on earth, apparently, who doesn't know that generals are the worst. They're confirmed by the Senate. The Senate includes Democrats, and they're always PC suck-ups. What you want is a corporal. What you want is an enlisted man. But the generals, I mean, you've seen them on TV.
He kind of said that earlier this week and pushing back on the TV. He said, listen, it's these generals who are the problem. It's taken him a few years, but that's what you hear him say.
Yeah, we were hoping it would not be, day 1,477 of his presidency before he noticed the things that all of his supporters knew. Yeah. Much like so many of his promises. I mean, it's the same thing with Woodward.
Why did he talk to him? And by the way, this
exactly.
This happened 2 years ago. Woodward had a book, and everyone was like, "Why did you talk to him?" And now he gave him 18 hours. He hasn't given me 18 hours.
No, he's still calling him. I think that's why Woodward's leaking all this stuff, to get Trump to stop calling him. He's like this with all of the lib media. Maggie Haberman, I don't know if he still does. He used to call her every day. She's the New York Times reporter, always attacking him. I mean, the descriptions, I don't know if you saw the Daily Mail today. Others, I'm sure, have it. And he's on tape. He's so excited. He's talking to Woodward. Hey, Melania, guess who I'm talking to? He's chasing this guy like he's a cheerleader. And, meanwhile, the left-behind Americans, the ones who wanted their jobs back, who wanted manufacturing brought home, oh, sorry, did you guys want something? Hang on, I got to talk to Woodward. If Trump wins, which seems to be becoming increasingly unlikely, it's going to be the left behind and the working class who carry this guy through while he carries on like this in the White House and goes chasing interviews or to be interviewed by Bob Woodward.
All right.
Gets stung and then, oh boy, what a jerk he is.
Now, before I get inundated with emails and tweets and calls saying that, Ann Coulter is a Trump hater, you still want him to win over Joe Biden, right? If that's the binary choice.
I want Democrats to lose. I can't say in my heart I want Trump to win. He does not deserve to win. He has betrayed his supporters.
But he's your choice, Ed. It's a binary choice. What are you going to do? Are you going to write in Ronald Reagan's name?
No, Jeff Sessions' name.
All right. So moving on beyond that, and I do appreciate you clarifying who you'll be writing in.
That's the big accomplishment of the Trump era. We didn't get the end of Anchor Babies. We didn't get the wall. You saw yesterday. This is what has ticked me off. Not only the interview, endless interviews, still calling Woodward. But yesterday in Michigan, that little clip where he goes on about, you better vote for me November 3rd. All those plants I brought back, so many damn plants. And he goes on and on about the auto plants he's brought back. One with 400 jobs. Meanwhile, 4 others have closed. He just lies to his supporters. He lied when he was campaigning. Same thing with the wall. Oh, I built 200 miles. Larry, 5 miles. At most. That's at most.
Well, he's counting parts of the wall that was falling apart that he's now and you know that there were parts of the wall that were made with Vietnam War surplus metals that weren't doing anything, and he's now replaced that with a real wall. So I think he's counting that.
Okay, we got replacement wall. He didn't. That wasn't the chant at his rallies. And I'll shore up replacement portion. I mean, Bush would have done that. Obama would have done that. We wanted a new wall. The reason new wall makes a huge difference is, you know, the left keeps suing. You have the environmentalists and the Indians who want to be paid off, and you have landowners and judges in Hawaii. No, we wanted new wall. We elected a developer, and he just screws his supporters and then lies to them while he's off chasing interviews with Maggie Haberman and Bob Woodward.
Our guest is Ann Coulter, and the email for the show is LarryOShow@WML.com. I read all of them, and I respond to many of them. You have often, for a long time, Ann, been a critic of our continued presence in Afghanistan post 9/11. And I wonder if you could comment on the president. Basically, it looks as though he is now dead, you know, obviously moving us forward to getting us out of Afghanistan. And by the time we have our next 9/11, we shouldn't be there unless Biden wins. What do you think of that?
Well, that was not my tweet, somebody else's tweet of the day. Let's hope on the next anniversary of 9/11. It'll be 20 next year, 20 years.
Yeah.
We no longer have troops in Afghanistan. And again, okay, it's day, I'm making this up, but I'm roughly right. 1,477 of Trump's administration, and we're all really excited that he's thinking of fulfilling that promise about bringing the troops home. I do think that's why why we suddenly had the insane story about Trump hating the troops.
Right.
It is the generals and the permanent war type who are very upset. They want us to be in wars all over the world at all times for no purpose, and still you have no jobs in the industrial Midwest.
We will leave it there. Ann Coulter, good to talk with you, as always. Thanks for joining us.